that is the Smart 2025 Sustainable Mobility and AI-driven Renewable Energy Technologies. This is the faculty development program, which is envisaged to provide an advanced platform for the capacity building, academic enrichment, and professional development in the rapidly evolving domains of sustainable transportation and renewable energy systems. This program is motivated by the urgent global need to address challenges associated with the climate change, energy security, and urban mobility by fostering innovative technology driven solutions. This will focus on the convergence of sustainable mobility practices with artificial intelligence enabled renewable energy applications, the integration of AI with electric vehicles, intelligent transport systems, smart grids, and renewable energy forecasting offers new opportunities for efficiency enhancement, system optimization, and environmental sustainability. This program further aims to encourage interdisciplinary collaboration and knowledge dissemination by connecting academicians, researchers, and industry professionals. By equipping faculty members with contemporary insights and practical perspectives, SMART 2025 seeks to strengthen academic collaborations, promote high quality research, and contribute to the national and global vision of a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable future. The key highlights of the FDP are comprehensive coverage of sustainable mobility trends, electric vehicles and infrastructure, green transport systems, artificial intelligence applications in renewable energy forecasting, smart grids, predictive maintenance, focus on national and global goals aligned with the India's clean energy transition, carbon neutrality targets, and even sustainable development goals. With this, I request Professor Dr. Uday Maji sir to kindly address and welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Madhumita. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
sir, you're audible.
Good morning, everyone. I, Dr. Uday Maji, Head of the Department of Applied Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering, welcome all the participants in our one-week faculty development program. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the one-week faculty development program on sustainable mobility and AI-driven renewable technologies, SMART 2025, organized by the Department of Applied Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering of Haldia Institute of Technology in association with IQAC. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our Chief Patron, Dr. Lakshman Chandra Seth, Chairman of Haldia Institute of Technology, our respected Principal Sir, Professor Tarun Kanti Jana, and our respected Dean Sir, Professor Dilip De, and the coordinator of IQAC, and the esteemed advisory committee of their encouragement and continuous support in making this program possible. The theme of this FDP, Sustainable Mobility and AI-driven renewable technologies, is not just timely, but essential in today's world. With rapid urbanization and rising energy demands, the integration of renewable technologies and artificial intelligence into transportation and power system hold the promises of building a greener, cleaner, and more adaptive future. Over the next 5 days, we are privileged to have distinguished speaker with us, Professor Sam Singh Chandal, Professor Ratan Mondal, Professor S. Sasirekha ma'am, Dr. Sujamani Mallar ma'am, and G.K. Balaji from EduTech, who bring with them immense knowledge and expertise in renewable technology, sustainability, AI technology, and EV system. Their session will surely enlighten us with new perspective and inspire future collaboration. This FDP is more than just a series of lectures. It is an opportunity to learn, share, and reflect together. As educator and researcher, I encourage all the participants to engage actively, interact with our resource person, and carry forward the insight gained here in your teaching, research, and professional endeavor. On behalf of the department, I once again warmly welcome all participants, speakers, and organizers. Let us make SMART 2025 a memorable and fruitful experience, contributing meaningful towards a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you and wish the program a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Dilip Kumar De, sir, our Dean, sir, Dean and IQAC Coordinator, HIT Haldia, to deliver the inaugural address. Dilip, sir. Sir, can you hear me?
Okay, Madhumita, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Thank you, Madhumita. Respected Principal for the Institute of Technology, Head of the Department, EIE, Coordinator of this FDP, respected faculty members, and dear participants. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this faculty development program on sustainable mobility and AI-driven renewable technologies. As the Dean of our institution, and as well as in my role of coordinator of the IQAC, I feel privileged to inaugurate this program, which resonates deeply with our vision of quality exchange, academic innovation, and societal impact. The world today stands at a critical juncture. On one hand, rapid industrial growth and rising mobility needs are shaping the future economics. On the other hand, climate change, resource depletion, and environmental concern are reminding us of our responsibilities. It is within the context that the idea of sustainable mobility and the integration of artificial intelligence in renewable technologies becomes not just relevant but imperative. Sustainable mobility is not only about the reducing emission. It is about rethinking transportation system, reimagining urban planning, and ensuring equitable access to clean and efficient mobility solutions. Similarly, AI-driven renewable technologies hold the potential of optimized energy generation, distribution, storage, while making our system smarter and adaptive and resilient. Together with the represent a future where technology and sustainable are not conflict but in harmony. This FDP aims to create platform for knowledge sharing, critical thinking, and collaborative learning. Over the next few days, we will hear from eminent experts and thought leaders with all guide us and enhance the electrical vehicles and also intelligent energy grids. AI application is renewable energy forecasting and policies of dimensions for sustainable practice. As an academician, it is our responsibility not only upgrade our own competition, but also the equip our students and researchers with the tools and perspective required to address such global challenge. Through this program, like FDP and other, we are strengthening the bridge between the quality assurance, quality enhanced. A mission of IQC also hold this type of work. I sincerely hope that each of you will engage actively, exchange idea, and emerge from this program with renowned enthusiasm and deeper insights. Let this FDP not only enhance our academic knowledge, but also inspire us to sustainable innovation in our institution, communities, and other than. On behalf of organization's team, I extend my warm welcome to all participants and resource persons. I express my gratitude to the organizer, collaborators, and our faculty colleagues who have worked hard to make this event possible. With these words, I formally inaugurate the faculty development program on sustainable mobility and AI-driven renewable technologies. I wish the program great success and fruitful in outcome. I would like to end with thought of proving a quotation of Einstein. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Again, I extend my best wishes to all participants and express gratitude to the organizing team, resource person, and leadership for making this event as much as possible. I'll conclude my speech with a quotation: "The future belongs to those who prepare for it today." Thank you, and look forward for fruitful and enlarging experience for all of us. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your vision and thank you for your wishes. Uh, Next, we will call upon our speaker, our research person, Professor Shyam Singh Tandal, sir. Uh, I'm just giving a brief of his biodata, though it will be very less. Professor Dr. Shyam Singh Tandal is Professor of Eminence and Director of the Center of Excellence in Energy Science and Technology, Soulini University, Solan, Himachal Pradesh. He is the former Professor of Energy and founder, head of the Center of Energy and Environmental Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur, Himachal Pradesh. His honors, awards, and recognitions. He is among the top 2% of the scientists worldwide in the field of energy as per Stanford University, USA, and elsewhere world ranking continuously for the past 5 years 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 under the career long category. In November 2018, he has got a Lifetime Achievement Award for Science and Technology Promotion in the state of Himachal Pradesh by the Himachal Pradesh government, the State Council for Science and Technology Environment. In April 2016, he has got a National Award for Excellence on promoting concentrated solar technologies in educational institutions for National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur, by MNRE, Government of India. In June 2002, he has got Sri Shohan Raj Dali Chand Shah Lifetime Achievement in the field of Science and Technology, Environment, and Popularization of Science in the country by Indian Planetary Society, Mumbai, India. He has more than 135 widely cited research publications and has guided a number of PhD, master's, and bachelor students in renewable energy technologies. He has also designed and formulated the courses, BTech courses in renewable energy, MTech courses in energy technology, MTech courses in climate science and sustainable development, and PhD in energy courses. Currently working on the design of online and distant learning energy courses. Recently, he has edited a book as the chief editor on building a sustainable future, realizing United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through higher education institutions, published by the Association of Indian Universities into 2023 and released by the former Vice President of India. He is also an associate editor and reviewer of several international energy journals. He has expertise in energy, solar, wind, bioenergy, environment, and sustainable development, UN Sustainable Development Goals, renewable energy technologies like photovoltaic system design, modeling, building integrated photovoltaics, solar power generations, solar radiation modeling, PV forecasting, PV degradation, and solar wind biodiesel battery based hybrid systems, AI applications in energy, PV power, and solar radiation forecasting, development of microgrids and mini grids. With this, I welcome Professor Sam Singh Tandal, sir, to deliver his lectures on this topic. Sir, please. Sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So you can now start your session, sir.
Okay. Thank you and good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Basically,
sir.
good morning to all the participants and head teams, etc. So it gives me pleasure to be present uh, my talk during this faculty development program of the Haldia Institute of Technology here. So I'll be talking about what are the innovative, sustainable energy research, development, education, higher education institution. I'll be covering most of the research done by us also, and what are the latest things which can be followed also. So, briefly, this presentation will cover an update on sustainable energy research carried out during past 40 years, uh, which I worked on solar thermal, covering photovoltaics, solar wind resource assessment, solar power generations, solar and wind hybrid systems, and AI application in renewable energy research, power forecasting, microgrid system, passive solar building technology, which this technology, which is very important for the in the building sectors, especially in the we worked on the technology which is very suitable for the mountain regions of the country. So most of the this research was carried out at the Center of Excellence in Energy and Environment Engineering at National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur, where I was there earlier, and presently at the Center of Excellence in Energy Science and Technology, Shulni University. So both these institutions were established when I was there during this, and we started from scratch. So my purpose is also that how you can in your institute start this. You must have been doing already, but how you can further uh, go on in this sector also, energy sector. So the main objective is of my talk is to catalyze a plan for futuristic research by the faculty who will be interested in this thing. And our objective or my objective has been already that we should work for the people. How energy needs or these research which you do in our institutions can benefit the people of the living conditions of the people in India also, especially in the area where you are working at least. It should not remain to the research paper or files of this. So basically, the outline of the talk we'll discuss the potential of renewable energy resources worldwide and what are the challenges in this sector and what are the climate change concerns, present climate change concerns. You must have seen that how disasters are happening in every part of the country nowadays also because of these concerns. And what could be the applications to address these challenges in the long run? So some of the things which I will be talking about is power generation using renewable energy sources, the building sector, which is large consuming sector of energy, waste to energy, another sector, hydrogen energy briefly, agrivoltaics, solar wind resource forecasting, how we can utilize these resources which are not being used extensively in our energy management system. And then what are the energy management system challenges, how we can manage these things. So our research is focused on that. And what are the new research initiatives which can be taken up, which some of the technologies which we did research on uh, also find application in the actual condition for the benefit of the people. So that is my objective also, which I told you. And some AI application to address the challenges, how it can match that. Basically, power generation, solar radiation forecasting, grid related problems, and energy management system I will be covering. And conventional solar microgrids, what are some of the case studies which we have done, and what could be the research initiative which we can take. So as we know, uh, these are the main concern related to energy, environment, climate change, sustainability. All these are interrelated, and we cannot neglect one to do other. And basically, in our country, there is large dependence on biomass earlier also and present also in the especially in the rural areas or inaccessible areas where still electricity is not available. Okay, and dependence on fossil fuels also it was there and it is still there, and electricity for cooking purposes, space heating, cooling, etc. So these affected the forest and environment for a long time, and how we can manage effectively, that is the concern. In certain parts of the country, like Himalayan region, where there could be extreme winter conditions, the temperature goes to minus 20 degree also in some parts of the country, and extreme summers in plains, etc. That affect the agriculture and horticulture crop cultivation. So how that can be addressed through solar energy, solar greenhouses, or solar applications, other applications also. Beside this, you must have seen that we are using conventional electricity for air conditioning in the industry, institutions, commercial establishment. Large amount of energy is required there also. Whether it can be reduced by some other means also, that is the question. And so we depend upon the diesel generator for power backup also, because electricity supplies are also erratic, they are not consistent, and we still depend upon all these things also. So how renewable energy can supplement those things also. And as I told you, the building sector is one of the major energy consuming area which consume a lot of energy in the industry sector. So we have to think about that also, whether we can improve the building designs or we follow simple certain standard designs for every place, for plains, for hot climates, for cold climates, or for hilly regions also. So that is the role of higher education institutions like yours also, that how we can provide technological inputs to the government departments also in improving these things also. And that requires continuous effort also. And we expect that energy demands are expected to triple in next 2 decades, which we are saying. So what is the solution? Solution is the clean and free energy, which is available, still available. And to what extent we can use, we must use. So full potential of renewable energy sources is not yet utilized in these sectors. Say, my belief is that the educational or research or engineering institutions can show the way to all, and we can actively participate in the testing. So there is a large potential for clean renewable energy technologies for in power generation, which will be focusing upon this. And because earlier, quite a few years ago, renewable energy technologies were not believed upon. They were very costly also. Although India started the renewable energy program is early 80s with establishing a Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Resources, which was known as Ministry of Non-Conventional Sources. But not much could be done, although efforts were done. And China, which was way behind us, has now is on the top of this sector. So as per the International Renewable Energy Agency, which is IRENA, which is known as, the total renewable energy generation worldwide is about 4,448 gigawatt, in which solar accounted for 3/4 of this new capacity, with about 452 gigawatt added in 2024. and much of it is in China and Asia or India. Yes. And this renewable energy power capacity is expected to triple worldwide and surpass 11,000 gigawatt by 2030. Because our target is also to restrict the global warming to at least 1.5 degrees centigrade. Also, all efforts are being done, but how much they will succeed, we have to see that. And there was a commitment made by G20 countries as per the Sustainable Development Goals also. They thought that we have to triple the collective renewable energy capacity and emphasize the global requirement for more than 4 trillion US dollars in annual investment. So a lot of investment is also required if you want to achieve these goals also. And as I told you, there is a vast unexploited solar, wind, and other renewable energy resources worldwide in India also. And there is a lot of job creation which could also take place. If you can see this map, this is a world map of, say, there is a vast solar resource worldwide, including India also. So you can see that the dark portions show high solar radiation. And this India, if you the solar, so India solar resource also, most of the part of the country have good solar resource except in this thing. But even then, the places like our Himalayan region, Himachal Pradesh, or say maybe Jammu Kashmir or this thing, even then there is a lot about 300 sunshine days which are available most of the period. It is not that always there is a cold or like that also. So we can utilize that also. And basically the potential, India's potential is about 5 into 10 raised to 9 gigawatt hour per year. And it varies from 4 to 7 kilowatt hour per meter square per day. So these portions, you can see African, these countries, they have a lot of potential except this thing. But so we can utilize where solar is not there. There is a wind also available. So we have to identify the wind resource also along with the solar resource. So this is my contention that whatever resource is available, we must utilize these resources. This table shows you the current renewable energy capacity in India up to 2000. This is, you can see that from the table that solar power, wind power, biomass, this thing also waste to energy, waste to, we are working on different sectors and there is a still lot of work to be done by institution. And this, you can see that solar part and wind and other part contributes to smaller there. So solar power is the at present maximum utilized resource in India, and others are to some extent they are also contributing. Waste to energy is also one of the major area which needs to be addressed also. So we are working on this. And the role of the educational research institutions is also to supplement these efforts through latest research. So if we see India's solar status, India installed solar power about 123 gigawatt by the end of August 2025. And total renewable energy capacity is around 251 gigawatt, which include all the other forms also. And recently, some initiatives were also taken. There is a national Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission 2010, which catalyzed the solar power generation in India. And later on, the targets were fixed. Also, they are increased. Recently, we have a PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, or in which the rooftop are used for solar power plant, so that you can meet your own energy requirements also. Establishment of large solar bars and mega solar power projects are, these are the now were taken. As I told you, photovoltaics has cost of the photovoltaics technology has considerably reduced, and now we can have efficient PV panels also which can be utilized. So this technology is now reliable, affordable, sustainable also. And this is, as I told you, the most promising technology worldwide due to low cost, ability of free solar energy throughout the year also, the most of the location. And as I told you, this you can see the as per this arena past decade 2000 to 10 to levelized cost of electricity for solar PV cell fell from 0.445 US dollar per unit kilowatt to 0.049 US dollar. So that makes PV global weighted average cost of energy to 29% lower than the cheapest fossil fuel. In other, if you see the fossil fuel run thermal power plants, which require coal as a fuel, or gas-fired power plants also. So in this case, we are utilizing the existing renewable energy, which is free. So cost of the fuel is considerably reduced. So now with the technology improvement, this is future technology and it can supplement the needs also, and the cost of production is also very low now. So this, if you can see this figure, so wind, this gives you the worldwide wind resource. Okay, so wind resource is also one of the important resources which need to be there. Although at present the wind power, in your mind it will be there that large wind turbines are required for wind power generation also. That is true for the large power plants. And in coastal area where consistent wind speeds are there, it is being used. But in my view, this wind power can be utilized along with the solar also through solar wind hybrid system, very small systems, which can also be, because small wind turbine efficient, small capacity wind turbines are also uh, available now. So we have to look toward this sector also, which is not much utilized as in India also, but to some, the major focus is on the large scale power generation. Okay. And there is in India, there is a National Institute of Wind Energy in Chennai, which looks after the wind program in the country. And there is a wind energy research council also, which and first step is to assess the wind resource of at a location. And this is not very difficult to do that. You require in every institution, I don't know whether this is in your institute, there is some solar or wind data monitoring system is there. These are automatic system which needs to be installed because they will help in education also. And at least you can have a data on the solar, wind, temperature, rainfall, etc., all the parameters. So this is one of the essential components which starts your research in energy also. So this gives you the idea over how much resource is there. Of course, in the uh, around the seas, there are consistent winds also. So these are utilized in India also. We are utilizing. So these two maps gives you the wind resource and solar resource maps of India also. So resource mapping is one of the things, and there are many resources for available for that also. One of the satellite based, NASA provides that link also. You might be quite aware about that also. But actual data is very important to be recorded, and that gives you reliable assessment also, and helps in having a realistic picture also. So I'll just briefly tell about the present center, which is at our university, Shulini University. Shulini University is located in Solan, on the way to Shimla, say, if you can say. And it is a multidisciplinary energy center, which was established by me in 2019. And earlier, as I told you, I established the center at NIT Hamirpur also, which was quite did lot of research in this area. So in this center, basically we have programs for BTech Renewable Energy, MTech Energy Technology, MTech in Climate Science Sustainable Development, and PhD in Energy Science Technology. And research is focused on photovoltaics, thermal, solar passive, buildings, microgrids, concentrated solar, application, AI techniques in solar also. And the policy initiatives are very important for a country like ours, because these policy initiatives are region specific location. For example, West Bengal will require some different policies at plain areas, and for hilly regions also it will be different. And it is the role of educational institution, because they can think independently and work out the government policies also, and provide inputs for the policies also. We should not remain isolated in such that this is the role of government also. We should continue providing inputs for this also. And association of so we recently took a national initiative, which associate might be aware of, the Association of Indian Industry, AIU, uh, which mostly works with the universities also. They asked us to prepare a document on the United Nations Sustainable Goal in Higher Education Institutes, what they should be doing. So it is available on their website also, and it is a published document also, which I prepared in collaboration with the other scientists also. Another major area, as I told you, is a passive solar building initiative in Indian Himalayan region. And this was an initiative taken in 90s also. And a lot of states took up this decision, but later on, focus is not much now. So what are the challenges in this sector? Challenges: enhanced energy efficiency is required. Sustainability is also required of the technologies. And as you already know, solar, wind, etc., they are fluctuating in nature. You may not get throughout the day consistent. Wind resource is also, sometimes it will be there, sometimes it will not be there. Similar is the case for the solar resource also. It may be cloudy days, it may be rainy days. And so how to tackle that also, that is the important concern. And how to integrate to make them sustainable also. Whether we can integrate these systems with existing conventional systems, that is important. Other is that the grid is generally fed with the conventional sources, like some thermal power plants also, because the reliability is also very important. You should require a reliable power also. And so if you pump in solar and wind and others into the main grid, there could be instability in the grid also, because of the intermittent behavior of solar and wind sources, because that will also be affect these things. So how to tackle those things also, how the energy storage could be improved, how the power should be available when it is mostly required. So all these are issues which are tackled by now AI techniques also, and a lot of other measures which need to be taken. And how to integrate multiple resources to a grid, because the renewable energy is quite fluctuating, different, and whereas the thermal power plant, or say hydro power plant, they provide consistent type of energy. And what type of energy storage system should be there, so that the power is available when there is a requirement or there is a lot of demand for the power, maybe during daytime, maybe during summers also, maybe in winters also when the power is required, or different times of how to manage that. That is the main question. So, and you have to optimize the performance of these different components also, and which increase the grid complexities also. And so you should have a reliable energy and load management systems also for addressing these also. That requires a lot of studies by the research institutions in collaboration with the uh, agencies which are providing electricity or energy to the. So basically, it started with the Kyoto Protocol in reducing greenhouse gas emission. This is of a major concern, greenhouse gas emissions, and it was adopted in December 11th, 1997, and it came into force after some deliberation on 16th February 2005, and during the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, because climate change is of concern worldwide nowadays, when there is 37 industrialized countries committed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 5% as compared to 1990 emissions. Electrical energy produced from fossil fuels produce about 25% of total greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, so that is also one concern, and so these further follow up encourage countries to reduce the impact of climate change by deploying clean and renewable energy. So this is the major component on which the world is working on this thing. So there was a Paris Climate Agreement at Conference of Parties, which is known as COP21 in December 2000, to reduce the carbon emission. And this conference generally organized almost every year. On the last year also there was a, which is COP29. So India committed at this climate COP21 in December 2000 to reduce its carbon emission by 30 to 35% of its GDP and achieve about 40% of the installed renewable energy by 2000. And to 500 gigawatt, install 50% of power from renewable energy so 2030. So we are moving toward that, and targets are difficult to match, but even then efforts are going on for this, and made during this thing also. So this is expected to assist India in reducing its carbon emission to 1 billion tons, lowering the country's emission intensity by 45% by 2030. And we have kept the target for carbon neutral economy by 2070. So let's see, let's hope we are moving in right direction. So I'll talk about how to achieve all these targets, how to develop sustainable this thing also. So we have to focus on maybe at a smaller level or a less level, that we should focus on sustainable energy education also, research and development and innovation, following this agenda 230 agenda. This is known as the 230 agenda for sustainable development. So now if you know the sustainable development goals, there are 17 sustainable development goals identified, tackling most of the sectors. And I have a small difference here, that most of the sustainable development goals were already followed in India, but with the modernization or with the technology interventions, we have forgotten them also. So perhaps we can much better handle these sustainable goal in a better manner also. So the mission statement for this was that a blueprint to achieve a better, more sustainable future for all people in the world by 2030. So target is fixed. We are in 2025, only 5 years left. So let's review this and how much we have done or not So these are the, if you see, these are the 17 goals, most of these. One, no poverty, no hunger, health, education, etc., quality education. So we'll focus on the goal 7, which is energy for all, and then 11 sustainable cities and buildings, etc. And then 13 also the climate action. All other are interlinked, and institute is expected to work on this. So if we introduce green education, sustainable education also in our uh, course curriculums or in other programs, we can move towards that also. So we were focusing, as I told you, SDG 7, 1 also, that is no poverty. Poverty should also be 7, 11, 13 also. So all these can address to the sustainability, energy security, and climate change concerns also. In our center, we thought of that we should focus on 7, 11, and 13. But we also promoted that sustainable education should also be there. So, for example, you can select your PhD research if it is going on here in your institute, or say master or BTech, to identify the topic related to these goals, sustainable goals. That helps in this also. Plus, there could be some courses which can be included as elective courses or other type of courses also. So, overall, still not getting electricity, even in remote areas also, that we have seen in states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, or maybe in West Bengal, in remote areas. They still require energy. They still require electricity also. How to handle that? How it can be done? Because solar and these resources are available. So whether we can do something for that, and that we have to see also. And the cities and human settlements, they should be sustainable also. We all know what type of structure, infrastructure is being done, unplanned also. But somewhat we have to take some urgent action to combat these changes also. So as I told you, building sector, which is a high energy consumption sector, okay, about 55% of the global electricity demand is for lighting, space heating, cooling, which is expected to triple by 25. Building consume about 35% of the energy. So we have to think how we can reduce this. And this is going to increase by about 8% per year. And as I told you, most of the building designs are not climate responsible. That's why the concrete cement buildings mostly absorb a lot of solar radiation, becomes very hot during daytime, then you're requiring air conditioning, and similar in winters also. Whereas our traditional designs, if you see traditional houses in villages, still they were such that you feel comfortable in those houses. Why not we have followed those designs in the modern architecture also? So that is our limitation. There are many concerns about that, because building materials, vested interests, everything is there, and to meet the requirements of the people also. But now we have to come to roots also, that is follow the traditional design, follow the traditional materials, which are sustainable as well. As so side by side, although these things are not possible in a way, but we can think of that, rethink or research, we can say, some of the design. For example, the West Bengal or say Rajasthan, etc. That many designs are suitable, which are suitable for summer heat, to tackle the summer heat. Some of those features can be included in the modern architecture also. So that is also the concern. because all these result in a poor thermal comfort in summer and winters also, not climate responsive. So this is one of the areas, so that you can reduce the electricity needs also, requirements also, and utilize electricity for better purposes also. So this is, and if the house is in the house, you are comfortable, it provides better healthy and comfortable condition and internal environment also, because sitting in a AC room throughout the day can also lead to be a lot of health problem issues also. So we are not tackling about that, we are not talking about that also. Now I'll just briefly talk about the AI applications which we have also addressed and which can be uh, can address access to energy challenges also. So some of the development of AI and these applications in renewable energy search can address most of the energy challenges for solar power industry also. So this is the fastest growing area also. But my concern is that we should focus on not simple AI techniques to on the data, this thing, but thinking about overall picture with renewable energy sources, what are the requirements, how to integrate. So a comprehensive solution is required. So artificial intelligence enables predictive maintenance, energy demand forecasting, autonomous control systems, leading to operational efficiency, cost saving also. And this Internet of Things also facilitates real-time monitoring, remote assessment management, smart energy distribution also, because that is also required. Forecasting, etc. is important, but along with it, how to manage the things also. So the lot of data generated by AI and these technology, advanced data analytics for deriving actionable insight, optimizing energy operations also. This also enable us to optimize the renewable energy sources such as solar and wind, maximize generation also, integration into the grid. Grid related problems, they also require such solution. Some of these are optimizing energy usage, operation, dispatching, scheduling, etc. Optimizing the grid design, configuration, sizing, etc. Then forecasting the energy demand and as per the requirements, what are the system failure, how to detect that. Enabling a smart grid management system that can handle the big data also. Real-time monitoring of grids, facilitating decentralized grid and adaptation, modeling complicated system functionality, optimizing the functionality of our system under different conditions, climatic condition or whatever it is. So a lot of these solutions. Now, as I still believe that this access to energy for all is a global this thing, because a lot of different countries, African countries, Latin America, sub-Saharan countries also, they still there are still pockets where access to energy is not possible at all, because of the you cannot lay down the transmission lines in say forest area, desert areas, because it requires a lot of investment, lot of this thing also. What is the solution? Solution could be uh, having a microgrid or mini grid systems which can be decentralized also, or which can be linked to grid also, but they could be decentralized solutions are there because they don't require any long laying of long transmission lines, etc. You can have a solar mini grid or microgrid system which can store its own energy in a battery system, battery energy storage system, and function independently for small towns also, small institutions also. For example, for your institution, if there is a small solar powered system that can provide some energy also. And these microgrids can be multiple also, multiple resource systems also, and solar, wind, etc., with energy storage. And so this will reduce the dependence of the institution on the say, diesel generators or also if we can plant properly also. So a microgrid is a small, as you said, group of interconnected load, distributed energy, independent, works independent of grid also, but the microgrid can be linked with the grid also, existing grid also. So both could be there. So smart microgrids have energy management system that can control generation, demand, ensure stability, optimum, and AI techniques can be used. So we worked on this also. So conventional solar microgrids are there, mini grids, challenges, and these are the problem. That losses caused by fluctuating nature of the renewable energy sources, which makes the microgrid unstable. As I told you, fluctuating. If it is independent, so you require some very good energy storage system. Battery are the most reliable at present, and that could be this thing. So one source which is unpredictable forms highly fluctuating behavior of the grid also. So PV system, for example, conventional grids to the connected microgrids, the generated power is wasted during the absence of utility grid. Now, if you have seen those rooftop power plants or maybe uh, grid connected microgrids or mini grids, they have the problem that when the grid is not available, then that power generated, how to utilize that power energy, that is wasted. You cannot pump in the solar power generation power into the grid at that time when there is. So which can create a lot of problems for the PV system. If you go into details also, the solar cell or solar modules, so they degrade with temperature also. High temperatures can degrade them because they made of silicon materials and other components. So they can also degrade with time also, because the high temperatures or low temperature can affect the affecting the PV modules and solar cells. So you have to study that part also. This is also one of the research areas, PV degradation, how it is. Then is the problem of such a large systems are being utilized. So what will happen to PV modules when the power plant is not functional? How to utilize that? So PV waste is another problem. PV recycling is also one of the issues which is of concern. PV waste, you can say, management, that is also. So this is one of the research areas also. So how to study that? That requires a setup by which you can monitor this thing also. And these power plants are generally for about 25 years. Lifetime is there, but we have seen that they can function for more than 25 years also, provided proper maintenance is there, proper monitoring is there, upkeep is there. So the solar PV system can work. So we worked on a solar water pumping system at say, NIT Hamirpur, which functioned quite well after even after 28 years of function degradation also of the modules. Also, you can replace those modules. You can do some minor corrections which can be done also. So this is another area, research area which one can think of working. In conventional microgrids, there is no flexibility of controlling demand, supply, etc., managing the system. So that these are some of the issues with the conventional microgrid, which are connected to the grid also. So there is a need for this, you can say, smart energy management system. Which is possible with AI techniques, and you can create a system, you can plan and design a system before installing, so that how to manage the energy produced, energy distributed, and because there could be fluctuation in load also during daytime, you will be utilizing certain type of loads. During night time, you can utilize different types of, so your energy management system is required, and that should be automatic. Yes, and that could be on AI based. So this system has to be ensured for optimum technologies with least possible losses also. Monitoring and controlling all generator. All generator mean there could be solar generator, battery is another, battery energy storage is also there, wind is also there, some other type of integration could also thought of, because for improving the reliability you cannot go do away with the diesel generators. You may require some kind of a diesel generator in case of emergency, or in hospitals, or maybe educational institution which is critical. So how to integrate, how to manage these systems, how to commit, automatically switch on, switch off these systems. So that is the concern, and that can be done also. So these type of smart management system provides ability to tackle multi-objective problems like power generation, maximization, peak load shaving, greenhouse gas emission reduction, etc., and dealing with the fluctuating nature of naval sources and handling different operations. So energy management problems in these also, that optimal power flow, microgrids in controlling system is required to provide a stable flow without violating any constraints or limit also. Peak shaving, that is in certain case there could be large requirement, and all the generator may not be able to meet the entire load also. Microgrid optimal network configuration, selecting the optimal capacities, locations. So I'll just point out one thing also, that these systems are location specific also, because the solar resource or wind resource or whatever resource here, renewable energy, or that depends on a particular location also. We can not generalize, take the particular values of the solar resource and utilize to design the system. So that has to be, the system has to be designed as per the solar or wind resource at a particular location. For example, if you want to establish in your institute, that it will be better to have actual data for that location. That will help you in monitoring and designing a better system also. So these are the basic objectives of the energy management systems: social, technical, economical, environmental system also. So you have to see all the aspects also. This human progress index, land cost, social welfare, employment generation. These are some of the technical, is renewable energy part, which part to be utilized, what could be the load of the your requirement, etc., energy losses, voltage profile. These are the some of the point. Economical, naturally, what should be the cost of the, how much electricity which is being produced, is whether it is useful, it is simple or affordable also, and long time this thing also. And environmental effect, what are the systems which are using, whether greenhouse gas emissions are there or something, or whether you are integrating with a diesel generator or fossil fuel generator also. So broadly, these are the, you can achieve the optimum power flow from microgrids also, say a mini grid, optimal schedule without violating any constraints of this thing. The unit commitment, that is, which aims to minimize the cost of operation. The grid may be probably contain this. Dispatching, minimizing fuel cost and gases. These are some of the areas when you start doing work on this, so you have to consider these. So this is the how to use the load by two types of peak shavings. Use of peaking plant, additional generators are added to fulfill the extra load demand. For example, as I told you, the power is this thing, solar or wind or other sources are not available, then you may require some diesel generator also to fulfill the extra load requirement during that time also. Load shedding, shifting, etc. So this is also. So AI is used to assign dynamic pricing models also, real-time day-ahead pricing, etc. So the consumer reduce their demand, and when the prices are high, also how to manage that demand also. And this is important for the energy agencies which are producing the or utilities, you can say, call electricity boards, etc. Because they also require how much power is required, how you can change the cost also, so they should get the income also this. So AI can be used for rescheduling the loads also to achieve the optimum use of the resources when they are available. So solar or renewable energy source prediction is important to reduce the cost. So they can reduce the power losses and fluctuation of the system. Optimization techniques and other application or software also, like some software, home, and the other PV system, the photovoltaic power plants design software, which is mostly used in industry, and transmission problems also to be included. So a lot of factors or constraints are there which need to be included while doing this type of research. Some of the techniques which are being used is meta-heuristic techniques, evolution algorithm, swarm-based algorithm, physics-based. These are some of this. Machine learning, neural networks, reinforcer. So these are some of the which are being used. Some other can also be used depending upon the application. So what are the major forecasting? One is the solar resource forecasting, that you must have accurate data on the solar radiation and how it will behave during the year or based upon the earlier data. As I told you, the NASA site provides satellite data for the worldwide, depending upon the latitude longitude. So initially, that could be useful for the study, but in actual, with our experiences, that the actual weather station or actual accurate sensor with quality sensor should be there. Accuracy should be there. Reliability of the data should be there. There should not be uncertainty, errors, etc. in the measurements also. So having a small weather station installed in the institution helps in all these things to start the research. PV generation, solar, wind resource assessment. As I told you, you may be thinking that this place has no winds, continuous winds also. But this thing is, contention is that even if there is small wind resource, sometimes wind is flowing, we must capture that. We must utilize that, maybe for a smaller time also. So maybe with a smaller, so it will depend upon the design of a particular system. You should utilize that resource also, especially for smaller applications also, not large power, low demand system failure. So these are the which can be used. PV generation is also important because it is also in case of billing electricity, selling electricity by the utilities or electricity boards or whatever in India like this. So we must know how much solar generation will be there, and that forecasting is important along with the solar irradiance data and PV production data also. And for the concentrated solar systems like which is being used for solar power generation also, not in India because it requires a lot of water also. But in Rajasthan, some plants are coming up, mostly being used in Spain and other countries also, where for that you require direct normal incidence irradiance, that is DNI for the place also. So all this data different. Or for plants or agriculture, you require photosynthetic component of the solar radiation if you want to do. So all these components can be measured in a weather station, automatic weather station, where different kinds of solar radiation components could be. So that will help in generating different type of research in different areas also, in maybe greenhouse research or agriculture research, agrivoltaics also. So the forecast is crucial to develop novel control strategies for smart grid management. Forecast can be done in short and long-term time horizons also, from next minute to next year also. So you can have a what type of forecasting you require: short time, hour ahead, day ahead, or year ahead, or monthly next year, like that. So lot of and for this you needs to have reduction collaboration with the electric agencies also, so that the projects could be built upon that also. So this is a typical solar irradiation forecasting model which we used, and so broadly this is the structure, you can say, architecture, and like this also different type of data requirements are there. Satellite data parameter, if you don't have but actual data, if the temperature, humidity, wind speed, wind direction, precipitation, pressure, etc. All these are inputs are required for this to have a better this thing also. Then what are the, you have to identify which techniques you can utilize, and then like this also. And outputs, forecasting, radiation, etc. What are doing, and validation. So a lot of research can be done or can be utilized, but this requires great inputs. Load forecasting, as I told you, is very important for residential, commercial purposes also, and prices also keep fluctuating because electricity generation may not, because hydropower, thermal power plants are there because it depends on the coal, etc. But they lead to greenhouse gas emissions also. So worldwide also the thermal power plants are being looked like that they are contributing to large scale greenhouse gas emissions, and they must not be used. So there is one solution also for those also thermal power plants, because you can integrate some solar, concentrated solar systems also, as well as solar photovoltaic system along with the thermal, so that as to reduce the electric coal consumption. You cannot do away completely that we will not use fossil fuels. You can reduce their consumption by integrating the system. So such things are also going on, and National Thermal Power Corporation of India also has worked on some systems in which the thermal power plant is supplemented by the concentrated solar power generation. We are studying that system also presently. That is in prices also. So estimating future electrical energy demands, and so a lot of areas are there in which on which one can work, but this require long-term research. System failure forecasting also, how it could be this thing. So monitoring methodology should be there. If even as I told you, the PV module generally have a life of 25 years, but because of if you are not able to study the poor quality PV modules could degrade within 4 or 5 years also. Degrade means one of the modules is lost and the power this thing you have to replace, you have to check also. So monitoring of these system is also very important, and quality also. Unfortunately in India, the solar cell production or module production is not there at all. Now they are doing some efforts, but mostly the China is the major producer of this also. We started in the 80s, as I told you. Ministry was the first ministry in the world, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Sources. And at that time, solar cell research was thought of, and we'll make our own solar cells. But and Central Electronics was there. They started doing some manufacturing also, but not on a large scale. So it requires the will of the government. You can manufacturing, because manufacturing results in job creations also. Manufacturing will provide jobs to the engineering graduates which are coming out of such research also. You do a lot of research, you do a lot of this thing, but if you are not getting proper jobs in institution like this, then we have to have a very effective plan for all this also. So these are the some forecasting which are required. There's a lot of thrust is required in this also. So based upon this, because a number of students, PhD students were working on this, so we developed a novel research model for PV forecasting, and we are working on this also still. So based on that, you require plane of PV array irradiance. So how much solar radiation is falling on a panel? Okay, what should be the module temperature also, because back temperature, because this temperature affects the material of the PV modules also. What are the PV array DC bus, array bus currents, real AC power, which is this. So these require measurements for perfect model to be there, and this is the broadly we can call it integrated, but it can be modified still more. But initially it can be the solar radiation temperature data prediction data model, solar power plant system model, because this because the power generation will depend upon the solar radiation temperature and other resource there. Okay, and plant degradation, how much the plant could be degrading within particular areas also, plant operational and maintenance, and like this also. So these are you can utilize some AI techniques, deep learning techniques model also. You require for historical reference solar radiation model, temperature data, and historical plant performance data also. And then output will be like this. You measure actual power plant formation. So all the research require a lot of which needs to be focused research also. So broadly, integration of different energy sources in the grid also, controlling load generation, system design, maximum power point tracking controller also. Maximum power point is that sometimes during daytimes solar radiation is there will be varying. There could be cloudy condition when the solar radiation may be changed or it will be low. So these automatically system will take you to extract maximum power from that type of radiation. So these type of controllers are required, and they naturally they will depend upon AI techniques. Integration of different sources, solar, wind, etc. These resources attractive to provide electricity rural or remote areas, increase reliability and this thing also. And hybrid system, as I told you, they have problems also, but they are quite successful. So controlling load, generation load. So these are some of the which I have summarized for say to identify the research areas and how one can go about this. Smart maximum power point tracking controllers, which I told you, MPPT system it is called. So to implement it to current maximum power efficiency of the system. Conventional system may get trapped due to complete condition in losses also. Smart MPPT controllers use AI techniques to keep tracking and maximum power point conditions. And so modeling, etc. Solar cell modeling is required. And at solar cell level, modeling of renewable energy sources, modeling complicated power plants also. So vast area is there for research. So some of the we have, as I told you, we have been carrying out this research since this thing also. We started with solar radiation forecasting using AI techniques. All the this is the typical solar cell modeling using meta heuristics. Typical study can be used to estimate the parameters of single diode by parameter, because solar cell single diode center at the university. And first of all, if you want to continue research, you want to do research, you must have some systems like this, maybe smaller or whatever. So this provides some electricity to some buildings in the this thing, and utilize the roof space, as you see in the different buildings in the whatever space is available. So best is the in place of land, you must utilize the rooftops, because or car parking, etc. There is only car parking also here, which is utilized like this one, car parking space. And so we studied this. One of the this during PhD research, he studied this system and how what are the defects in the system, because when the systems are installed generally by some company or other institution, they may not do all the designing, etc., as per the requirement. They'll do go by standard and install. So there could be some limitation. One limitation is whether these panels are installed at an optimum tilt angle. What is the optimum tilt angle? Optimum tilt angle is a location specific angle at which the solar panels should be installed to get maximum solar radiation. Okay, maximum power generation uh, throughout the summers, throughout the during the year, or whether you require it in winters or this thing. So it will depend. So for every place, you have to determine the optimum tilt angle for that location. For the Haldia also, you have to find out, determine there are definite techniques available. We have done considerable work on the optimum tilt angle of this thing, and that can be done followed. So this we studied this system, and what are the limitation, how it can be improved, how so these using these techniques. So this is the optimum tilt angle calculation of astronomical model. These are the we have already done. Well, this is very simple. The thumb rule is that optimum tilt angle should be equal to the latitude of a place. What is the latitude of your town, and mostly that is taken as the for the entire year, but that is the thumb rule. But as a researcher, you must determine the actual tilt angle at which the solar photovoltaic or solar thermal panels, water heating panels, etc., they should be installed. They should be inclined so that you get the maximum solar radiation falling on the panel, and so that the efficiency is but better. So this is the typical smart management system which we worked on this at lab scale level, and then for the microgrids also. So this is for a grid integrated microgrid system. So broadly, what are the future AI-based research prospects? Lies in the continued integration of AI and creating a more interconnected, efficient system. And but this require long time research also. And this research should be supported by the solar industry. In fact, in our country, the industry, solar industry, or whether other type of industry, they are not much interested on long-term research, which is essential for a research. So they want quick solutions, and the quick solution they get from uh, by importing technology or doing some techniques on the and we are not developing our own infrastructure for doing such, and that requires long-term commitment and research. This thing. So my this thing we have to develop certain type of expertise. You require technical expertise. Your faculty should be specially focused on a particular type of research, and maybe BTech, MTech, or whatever PhD students are, if they're, then they should be focusing for a long time, and that is the role of the institute to how to guide the research in the institution. And what today's the funding, etc., is required for a long time of research, and industry or say organization like MNRE, DST, etc., they should think on these lines. But unfortunately, they are not doing that in a serious manner. They are doing it, but long-term plan is not there for doing it. So this is these are the some of the you require, and some of the areas which I have identified. AI has become an integral part of energy infrastructure, and they'll come. Now we have to evolve our own models, or based upon these also. What can be done? But a lot of research is going on worldwide also, in India also. But as I told you, our research should be to country focus. Unfortunately, we just look for easy solution. Publishing research paper is not only the answer. Your research should be able to contribute to the people needs also. If we are not able to meet the requirements of the public or people who are still living without electricity in many areas, without cooking food in cities or towns, there may be easy situation. But think of those people who are still deprived of even basic lighting a lamp also in some areas. So our research should be focused, and if you are doing that, that will give you satisfaction also. Now, I'll just briefly touch this another sector which is very, very important and on which we have really worked as a researcher, then implemented, and the how policies can also be changed by government and how it can be implemented successfully. And so this is building energy sector. Himachal or lies in northwestern Himalayan region. We have some extreme winter conditions also in certain part. But as I told you, we have a part like Lahaul Spiti where the temperature drops to minus 20, 30 degrees also. And at lower parts of this, the temperature rises also in lower. So every different type of this thing. But winter heating, space heating is required there. So at that time, we thought of in say 80s or 90s, we thought of why not to utilize this passive solar technology. Passive means you don't require a lot of equipments in the system, active systems. Where some systems can be designed or integrated in the building design itself. So how it can be done? You can achieve thermal comfort, you can utilize, you can reduce the electricity consumption, lighting consumption also. So these are some of the. So passive solar building utilizes site planning, where you want to design your building or house, that should be studied. Orientation of the building, where your window should be there, where door should be there, from where you'll get summer heat, where you'll get the winter sun, that needs to be analyzed. So the role of architect is very important, but your role is also, you are building a house, you think of all these factors which are generally not seen. What type of materials you can use, and whether solar energy is available, or whether we should utilize or not utilize during summers. You don't utilize, but in winters, whether it should be used. So how to design your particular. So we have seen that this cost is about 0 to 10%. That means if you do from the starting plan, you don't have any cost, because these passive solar features will be integrated in the initial building design. Okay, and 90% of reduction lighting consumption. During daytime, you don't require to switch on the lights also, because that can be met through natural daylighting. Your windows or glass area, how much glass area should be there. A saving of about 50% overall consumption is there. A recurring expenditure is also there on electricity bills for heating and cooling also. So these are the advantages of this technology. This technology was introduced uh, in 80s also, and then a lot of work was done by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Sources, also supported program throughout the country also. But after that, no sustainability, not much is being done here. So your role as an institution or as a scientist or as a researcher is that, let us pick up one or two areas in which we can do something. So what are these concepts? Design concepts are there. As I told you, site planning is important. Where you want to locate a building, particular, whether it is in a hot area, in a cold area, hilly areas, what are the climatic conditions there, that you have to see. Orientation of house. Orientation means whether the building should be that you should not get summer sun, but you get the winter sun. So these are very simple techniques which can be followed. Then heating, if it is heating requirements there, which places like Calcutta or plain areas may not be requiring much of, except some winter months, 1 or 2 months. So you have to plan accordingly. So there could be direct gain, that means direct sun with some small storage, so that you get the heat during night time also. Then indirect gain also, how you can get the indirect solar radiation. Direct gain with storage, without storage, or with storage. Sun species, if you go to places like Darjeeling or high Sikkim, etc., in your area region, so you can have sun species where you can sit during winters also. Then passive cooling also. Cooling is also required during daytime. Natural ventilation, windows, how should we design? Then skylights, monitoring. These are the some of the design concepts which can be followed. So as I told you, it is a very innovative, very simple techniques. Or if you know something about our traditional architecture, which was known as Vastu Shastra, that was dependent upon the motion of the sun, or motion of sun, path of the sun, according to summer, winters, etc. So we have not utilized some of the features of the, especially solar is nothing but some concepts of the traditional sun utilization during summer and winter. So all the most of the temples or big old buildings, if you see, they utilize that system, design system, local materials, because that experience of construction was centuries of living in harsh climates. So well-designed passive building can reduce, as I told you, and you can now, earlier it was a thermal thing, but now with the solar PV or hybrid systems, you can provide electricity also to work out of those strategies. So as I told you, we thought of this in the 90s, and we prepared a solar house action plan, which was formed. I was at that time in the Science and Technology Council, so we formulated a solar house action plan for Himachal Pradesh, that and got a decision from the government of Himachal Pradesh that all the buildings should be designed as per solar passive technology. Although that time there was not any such building designed here, but we got a policy decision. So design as per the sun path orientation, sun space, solar Trom wall system is good. Trom was the name of the French scientist who first designed this building. Very simple. I will just show you. And sun falls on a wall, it is absorbed, and that heat is released. Solar windows, window box heaters, thermosiphoning panel. So these are some of the concepts which are there. This is a typical solar Trom wall. Trom was a French scientist, and he worked with the architect also, and basic principle was used. So solar radiation is coming, it is falling on a wall. This is glass, and this wall is painted dark black or dark brown or dark color with darker, so that it absorb the heat. And this wall can have holes here or here also, so that heat can be circulated. This is the room's a typical room, upper vent, lower vent. So this air is heated, become light, and it can be circulated. So during daytime, if you want, like for example, winter heating in office building, daytime heating, then it can be done easily. If you don't, then you close these vents and this storm wall is single space. Because this material will, bricks or stone or whatever, it will absorb the heat and release during night time also. So this system is like that. You can heat, you can think of it, how sun can heat during night time. So this is the example where it can be done. So that's why, as I told you, in Himachal, a lot of 200 buildings were designed, but we implemented this technology in a solar building in solar in 25 to 4 also. This was the typical animal house. They told that they require some heating, winter heating. So we prepare a simple trom wall system here, and which were designed by our center, and it was quite effective. This is another building. This was 1998. It is on the Shimla. Some of you, if you have gone to Shimla, you can see this building. This was a small kind of trom wall, a double glazed windows, a rooftop, these things also. So whatever, how much sun is, this is a, there is a limitation that you cannot design much of this building. So this was retrofitting existing building, and in this it was added. So this was a, one of the first buildings in Himachal Pradesh, which was done under the solar house action plan. Then natural cooling concepts are also there. You can have a natural cooling concept of integrated, which are for places like Calcutta or your West Bengal also. Small solar chimneys added, then it leads to cooling, and the cooling through underground. These are some basic, but you can improve, and you can, in place of earth tunnel, you can have pipes buried under the ground also used for ventilation. Small experiments can also be planned in the, on the solar chimney initially, and then later on in the exist, because every institute constructs its own buildings, lot of buildings. So why not to integrate, provide design details to them? So this is the policy decision. So what we did, because you cannot implement anything unless your institute, since your higher chairman and deans etc. are there. So I'll suggest that your Haldia Institute should also make some kind of a policy initiative, take that all the new buildings or old buildings, how we can provide some cooling or ventilation features in that, or winter heating where is required. Study the, ask the students to study those small and make their BTech reports or on that at least have provide some. So let's have a policy on that also, that you will utilize, study the energy consumption in the campus, energy consumption, the existing buildings, how we can modify them, how can we can improve. So we can, so that small kind of a policy paper that helps in ranking, etc. Also that helps in worldwide ranking, not THE ranking or other rankings also. So we introduced this policy because although it in Himachal it is a mandatory, but some it is important to have its own policy so that institute can be proud of that policies also. So as I told you, creating a small climate energy database center. So we first installed this system. This is a weather station, automatic weather station at our center, and it records continuously. Such a center, such a can be followed here. So I advise every institution that they should have their own, because this helps in the BTech students also to monitor how the variation is their study and how these can be applied. What you get the actual data then. And then use traditional climate responsive building materials. So these are two-story building which were constructed after these policies were adopted. Local materials were the traditional architecture. It's a mud building, mud wood buildings, and they're very comfortable, steady utilized. So we have to go to our roots also and utilize those techniques. And these are the some of the initiatives which we take. Creation of live research labs. These are the live research you can call. Installation of 400 kilowatt system. So you can think of installing a maybe over car parking, maybe over, for which some funding can be obtained from the local research organization or whatever is there. So, and study that also. Live research means the students should work on that also. They'll learn only if the atmosphere is there. Solar steam cooking system, 500 girls hostel, because there is community cooking. So this can be steam cooking, cooked food can be, and it saves about 2 to 3 LPG cylinder per day. So you must have hostels also, or so that can be thought of also. Solar water heating system, and use of electrical cars for transportation in the campus. In the campus, in this university you want to create a green campus like this, then you should not allow any diesel or the other cars to move in the campus. Only for local transportation, which electric cars or simple bicycle type of thing, or those things can be adopted. So that's why that will move you toward the green campus. Solar street lighting, implementation of the disaster management, like this, moving toward the energy net zero carbon. So we have to adopt in our system or in our policy at institute level. That's what maximum you can do. So we had this thing roadmap for solar thermal, so power generation in the National Thermal Power Corporation, NTPC, and NETRA, and this thing also. We discussed with and made a plan with them to study these systems. As I know, we are working on a national, thermal power plants, which will be in which the concentrated solar power is integrated. So such studies can be collaborated and discussed. So these are some of the priority R&D areas, which can be the R&D install awareness, installation of hostels and hotels here, community kitchen issues, solar steam power cooking. So at least install some systems which can be also taken as a research problem, small research problem, from first year to second year BTech, and this thing. Introduce some courses in the third or fourth year for the BTech students, as elective courses also, so that they know about this thing, sustainability, and this, and try to work out small projects. And potential area focus wind power generation. These are the large power plants, but as I told you, you can use a small wind. Agrovoltaics is a upcoming area now, because earlier most of the land was used for installing power plants, large power plants. So India is an agriculture country and dependent upon food production. So we should not waste our land for ground-based photovoltaic system. Now there should be agriculture can be grown, and as well as power generation. So the farmer can get this also. So this is an agriculture. Research also can be done. This gives you the idea about the enhanced crop growth, plant protection under harsh climatic conditions also, how it can be done. So this is also another area. In your campus also, you can have small systems like this, growing crops, producing electricity also, saving the land for. Another area is the floating power plants, saving land, over water bodies, rivers, lakes, hydropower dams also. They can be used with floating power. So this is also another research area in which you can work on this also. Green hydrogen energy R&D, this is also another coming up. And in India, although other places are there, but now India has also a national hydrogen policy now. You can go to Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India site, and see the hydrogen policy and follow up. They are taking up on a bigger scale also now. And basically, water electrolysis is there, hydrogen is produced, that hydrogen is utilized. Now it is, in fact, earlier it was not done, but now it is. You can have storage and this. Waste to energy is also another, because waste is also a big problem in the country, and how to utilize that can be utilized for biogas. And so biogas is also being neglected, although one time it was on a very large scale done in the country. And compressed biogas commercial fuel for vehicles, etc. And that needs to be done. You can install a small biogas plant also in your institution and R&D. So establishing simple biogas plants or studying them by the students, monitoring them during summer, how much is produced, is quite a starting point. Then there is a sustainable cooling system also. Thermoelectric is another area of research, which is new research on which our center worked and developed on this small system for thermoelectric cooling. And one PhD student specifically worked on this thermoelectric cooling. and they are solid state devices and they don't require refrigerant gases, etc. So greenhouse gas emission is also tackled. Application in buildings, PV plants, device cooling, small spaces, etc. That can be the new area of research. So these are the policy initiatives I told you. These higher education institutions should work on United Nations Sustainable Development Goals policy, which we formulated here, that can also be followed, and whatever help we can provide, we can provide. So we should have linkages with the say, government, higher education, industry, and society also to implement. Government of India, worldwide also, and for sustainable economic growth. These are my thinking. And this could be the strategy which can be adopted for this research also. Higher education institution, Haldia Institute of Technology, and how you can work and how it can. So you require an effective plan for doing this. And this is the broadly some roadmap for every institution, which I think all the institute develop sustainable township. Township means where your institute is there. There may be some houses built up or not, hostels, etc. So that should be your target. You might formulate a policy on the environment in the campus itself. So based upon that, wastewater recycling rain. So examples of these can be planned by different faculty members along with the research students. And so that will be sustaining the at least small level research. Even if you have only BTech students available, then they can also work on the actual these problem and some. So building a sustainable future, how? So this is which we prepared building a sustainable future. This booklet is available from AIU also, and there may be a link also on the website also that can be. It was built up 2023, and it contains. It is designed specifically for the India conditions also for the how the higher education institution can follow. I think somebody should study this and read this. So these are the area of focus. And in my view, you should also establish a center of excellence in energy at your institute for education, teaching, and implementing some of the research. Once you establish the solar policy or these things, so that could be coordinated by small center. I'm not saying that some people, some faculty in your institute is already working on energy related problem. They can form a smaller group. It could be adjunct faculty. Later on, you can have specialized people also, but they may start whatever expertise is there. Some of the faculty is already doing some kind of research in this area. So this could be the you should have a multidisciplinary team. You don't think like that only electrical engineer, electronics, or some other mechanical or civil they can focus on this. And this center should belong to different faculty. You should have physics people, chemistry people, biogas, etc. Biology people also, because they can. So those who are interested, you integrate. That will be much better. So these are the SDG related research is very important. You can get international funding also, but you have to first develop also. So these are some of the institution. So in my view, you should carry out the research, solar resource, wind resource potential, solar whatever you can do within your means also, and then you can excel in this also. So curriculum courses also try to integrate some of these things in your existing courses like elective or something, so they can the BTech student get some kind of specialized certificate for that also. That is possible within the policy framework also, and the sport also. And project funding sport can be MNRE, HRD, DST. So these, however, R&D funding is there, but whatever is there, We have a state level energy agencies, science and technology, also West Bengal Science and Technology. You can approach them and discuss with them and try to work out the plans. So, yeah, I think your campus should also be net zero carbon free by 2030. At least you start working on that also by having a small center of energy and energy science and technology there, and try to catalyze these effects. So this is the approach, I think, for sustainable and long-term research also. So in 2022, with these small efforts, our institute was declared as second worldwide in SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, and sixth in clean water and this thing also. And we are continue following that. So these things also help you in international ranking, QS or THE, the THE ranking also, or whatever. That helps in more value institution reputation also. Although, so these are some of the research publications related to all what I have presented in related to AI or other techniques also. You can follow and can see in the our Google Scholar link also I have given you. I don't know here, but you can search, and in any case, if you require some, you can contact me or send mail also through your institute also, whatever. So this is all which I have to say. Thank you.
To the faculty members, to the other members, those who have any queries, can ask questions, or if you have any queries, you can directly ask him. He is present over here.
Yeah, if you have some questions or you want to further follow up, I don't know to what extent
Sir, am I audible?
was able to tell. Yeah, sure.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So first of all, it's a very informative session, sir. Sir, I have just one query regarding the forecasting method. Sir, you have said that the solar irradiance forecasting method regarding the NASA website. Sir, I have already done such kind of work using the NASA Power website. But my question is, sir, that what is your opinion whenever we are going to forecast such kind of solar irradiance data using ground-based data? Because the NASA, whatever the data we have observed, there are no seasonality effects are there. They are just based on some satellite data. So, what is your
Yeah.
opinion whenever we are taken paths to forecast the ground-based solar irradiance data? What are the difficulty we may face in this regard? What is your observation, sir?
Actually, I told you that the NASA data is they mentioned their inaccuracy also about 10 to 20% or something
Yes, sir.
error in the ground measured actually. And for
Yes, sir.
that, that's what I am suggesting, that if you want to do real research or do research, then you must have some actual ground measured data at the location if you want to predict or do that type of research also. For example, in most of the solar plants nowadays, that type of data is also data loggers or these weather stations are installed. But I don't know somebody is using it or not. If you have some solar plant installed there and if they have some monitoring station there, then you can continue there. So NASA data is not enough for predicting this thing. You require actual measured data. For that, you may try to set up a smaller system in your institute. You can have a look on our some of the research which we did earlier
Definitely, sir.
also. Yeah.
Sir, I have a very small query, sir. What do you think that whenever we get an attempt to predict the ground-based solar irradiance data using the local ground-based data as well?
So what are the challenges we have to face? Because can we predict the long-term data? Can we forecast the long-term solar irradiance data? Is it possible? Because we know there are just many more seasonality effect. In Himachal Pradesh, there are some of the environmental aspects are there. In Haldia, there is another seasonality effects is there. So what do you think, sir, that is there any long-term prediction can be possible for the ground-based solar irradiance data?
To extent within the limitation, uncertainty is there in the measurements also, and NASA data, you have to consider all the what is the error in that, and try to find out some locations in say West Bengal or whatever where actual data is measured. So with that you have to correlate, and that is the important. In my view, actual measured data is the best data which we have to do. Other type
Yes, sir.
of data, meteonom or say this also may not come to that extent. So instead of predicting based upon the satellite data, we have not used much of that. In say NIT Hamirpur, we have installed this solar radiation data at our station at our center here also. So we generally use that data for actual prediction. And the reliability, accuracy of and calibration of those equipments are also important. The first step, in my view, to any research, energy research, is you should have actual measurement system installed there.
Okay, thank you, sir. And I have another query, sir. You have
Yeah.
explained a very good research work that PV power generation forecasting. Sir, is there any website or any data set is publicly available which we can get that how the PV power generation is actually depends on the various factors? Because we know there are different factors are there. But is there any publicly available data set is there, sir, from where we can do some of the research work?
Okay. No, I'm not aware of that, but that data, if you can see from collaborate with some industry also, uh, I think actual data could be then, but it will be long term. I think it may be
Yes, sir.
available
Yes,
with
sir.
some research publications also. But you cannot say there may be many parameters which you have to consider.
Correct, sir.
So in our research, we have taken a large number of parameters. There is one research paper, if you find Vika method on which what type of parameter we should rely at. That study is also there. You can
Yes, yes,
continue
sir.
that, or you can see that and then try to evolve. So then,
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, I have one
I'm
last.
not quite aware. I'm not quite aware, but
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So I have one last question, sir. Sir, you have said optimal tilt angle, and you have shown a very good diagram that you have measured that what is should be the optimal tilt angle where we get the maximum solar irradiance. Sir, is this done for every Julian day, or is it a fixed tilt angle for throughout the year? So should I change the
no,
tilt angle for every day?
you cannot do that. No, that is not possible.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
is only possible if you have a sun tracking system.
Correct, sir.
Okay.
Correct.
But generally, we are using fixed type of this thing. So
Yes, sir.
mostly if that tilt angle, which I am saying, mostly you optimum tilt angle is generally taken as a thumb rule for latitude of a place. Okay, generally.
Yes, sir.
Because they are
Okay.
not falling. But if you can do the calculation, that will give you much better. For example, you want to compute for your institute, then you can calculate for that location. That will be much better. And that will you have to fix actually if you are using fixed type of modules, because you cannot vary that. And if you think that there is a winter, I require more power than summer, then you may take a one or two seasons, summer season, winter season, tilt angle could be different, or otherwise that error will be there. That can be done.
So we have to study for this optimal tilt angle throughout the year to get the best angle, or we have to take any
Yeah,
particular session for
no, you
that.
have to take data. At least data should be for 1 year or maybe 1 2
Okay.
years. Data is there. Measured data is
Okay.
available, and You have to calculate and find out those angles. And you can
Okay.
identify season-wise angles also. Other
Correct.
seasons
Okay,
also.
sir. Okay.
Rainy season, what will we do? What summer? Then you go deep into that. So
Okay, sir.
for that also literature, as I have given you in list of this thing, or you can have a look on. We have done the basic things. My advice to you or other faculty member is start from zero. Do for your own place. That is the best research in
Yes,
the
sir.
long term, and that should be important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Such a nice session,
Thank,
sir. Thank you.
thank you.
Sir, we have another question that is in call messages. Hydroelectric power plants generally come with so much disruption and changes at the installation site.
Yeah.
Kunal Chaudhary is asking that how we can strategy the development of the hydroelectric power plant in line with the mandate of the sustainable development.
Yeah, this is we are dependent mostly on the hydropower plants or in the hilly regions also because they power provide the power also. The reason is, but we are seeing the effects of that hydropower plants now. Earlier, it was opposed that large dams should not be built in Himalayan region or hilly regions also because it can lead to earthquake or because tunneling of mountains, etc. We cannot stop them, but if the technology is like that, we take care of all the technology also. So that aspect is already there because mountains are not very stable, or in particular Himalayan region is fragile, you can say mountain. But we have built up so many large power plant, but development could not have been possible if they were not there. So that is also the contradiction. So what can be done is we can supplement those things with the renewable energy sources also. Make a smaller, may have a hybrid type of system, and identify the solar and wind potential of that location also, and design the power plant of smaller capacity, but integrate with the solar and wind also, because in the most of those places, wind also be there. Okay, solar will also be there, and then there is a technology known as a pump energy storage also. What it is done that the water is pumped using the solar or wind to the that hydro dam, and so that the water which is used for electricity producing is not coming back, so that can be utilized. So we have hybrid solution is important, I think, and we have to keep the environment into this thing because this year in Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh also a lot of disaster has come, and that is because of our making, which we have not focused. We could have focused on that also. So sustainability, environment protection is not just a subject to study only, and your role is important. Our role is important. Anything? Is it okay?
Anyone else would like to have some questions?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. I am audible.
Good.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
you're audible.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Uh, Sir, as we all know that a photovoltaic system where we are using photovoltaic solar cell are highly dependent on wavelength. Means their conversion efficiency is maximum when the photovoltaic solar cell convert photons whose energy matches with the band gap energy of the solar cell. So, sir, since a photovoltaic solar panel receives all the solar radiation at a time, so the unwanted portion of solar radiation which are not being absorbed by the solar cell, this portion produces unwanted heating, which degrades the performance efficiency of solar cell and
Mhm.
make sure to use cooling mechanism. So, sir, what are the possible solution to avoid this, sir? Means how can we get rid of unwanted portion of the solar radiation for photovoltaic solar system?
Actually, you are right that solar, this power generation requires certain amount of spectrum, but I don't think it will be feasible for large solar plants. Only thing is that we should try to reduce the heat production by which leads to reduction in the solar efficiency to some extent. By so there are some techniques which are adopted, cooling techniques through water. A lot of research is being done. Some of them are good, but they may not be feasible. They may not be economical like that also. So as I told you in our study also of the thermoelectric cooling also, they are solid state devices. In future PV panel, we may have such kind of integrated PV modules with thermoelectric cooling also. Although they will be costly and they will be but that could be because of the temperature rise can lead to automatic cooling also. So we cannot stop completely the solar radiation falling on the panels also for a large scale power generation. Smaller scale you may do for lab scale experiment you may try to do, but that will not serve the purpose. So cooling of the modules and utilizing maximum solar radiation will be possible.
Okay.
Is it
Thank you,
okay?
sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sir. Sir, I
Yeah.
have another query, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, sir, I think that the goal of utilizing solar power is to make it lower cost in
Mm.
comparable to the present power sources.
Mm. Yeah.
So, sir, using solar power, utilizing photovoltaic solar panel, the main thing is to track the variation of sunlight, means
Mm.
sun over the day and over the year, and for which I think we are using mechanical tracking system, and
Mm.
which raises the cost of the overall photovoltaic power generation, sir. Sir,
Mm.
so how to get rid of this? Can we use, sir, means which type of concentrating system can be used to track the variation of sunlight over the day and over the year, sir? That's so that we can avoid the use of mechanical tracking system and we can reduce the cost of the overall photovoltaic power generation. Sir,
Mm.
can we use concentrator? And if you are using mechanical concentrator, sir, then conventional optical concentrator, sir. Then the conventional optical concentrator concentrate the entire solar radiation on photovoltaic cell. And
Mm.
again, the cooling and conversion efficiency problem will be there, sir. So, what are the best options, sir? And which direction should we move, sir, to get rid of this, sir?
No, that is okay, but you cannot use concentrating solar on the PV panel because, as you yourself told, that there will be heat generation and this thing also. So, these
Yes, sir.
PV modules are simple. Second is the tracking is much more better also, not simple mechanical. There could be automatic tracking also, which is available, but such tracking systems, PV systems are costly, and this thing also, wherever it is possible, that can be done. But concentrating solar will not be feasible in the long run because it will result in degradation. It will result in this thing also, heat generation also, and cooling, etc., is required also. But better tracking
Okay.
systems are available for smaller applications, maybe, but not for very large power generation plants which are based on the fixed power PV modules.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other want to have some questions? Sir, I have a question then. Sir, regarding the
Yeah.
environmental sustainability, sir, what could be the environmental sustainability exact parameters we can measure? Means we are talking of the sustainability factors, but what could be the exact parameters that is measurable?
Measurable,
So
sustainability.
measurable
That is,
environmental sustainability parameters. Means suppose we are finding out the effect of a particular system on the environmental sustainability. Then what could be the
yeah.
particular parameters we can uh, take in for the research work, and we can do the working on that particular parameter or measuring that particular parameter to prove that that particular system is sustainable, or it is up to the mark or something like that.
Basically, we are talking about the same as solar PV or etc. Or major is the greenhouse gas emission is the one of the parameter, whether the technology is resulting. For example, the coal thermal power plants, they are generating the carbon dioxide emissions also. So such type of that is already known. So that can be measured. For smaller other environmental parameters could be these. I think greenhouse gas emissions is the one of the parameters major.
So CO2 emission calculation we can do.
Uh,
Greenhouse gas emissions. Mm, Other greenhouse gases means we will have to find out that what are the
uh,
I mean
no,
how many.
that depends. No, for example, if you are using in this power generations case, if you are using a coal as a fuel, okay,
Hmm,
whether coal generation power, how much coal is required, how much power it lead to greenhouse gas emissions also in comparison to the if you are using to wind or say this thing, whether such emissions are not there also. So that type of calculation can be done, or how much, in my view, like this. But environmental parameter, so all the parameters should be done, and then you have to link with the studies also.
okay, sir.
Whether that particular technology leads to heating effect, to other effects, resulting in gain. Because the renewable energy sources are mostly not producing any these emissions.
Okay, sir. Sir, another one, last one. That is that you have stressed on framing the policies.
Hmm.
So, suppose for a particular system, if you need some policy, means to frame the policies. So, what could be the steps of framing the policies?
Policy, I have told you three types of policy. For example, you want to make a policy for your institute, okay, or institute or for a state or like that also. So basically, there should be a renewable energy policy. There could be a policy related to plastic waste or maximum use policy in the campus. I am focusing that you should focus on the policy for your institute first. Then you think what are the issues related to your state or region or like that also on that. So those policies, for example, I gave you the example that we made a policy for the building sector in our state because we had a major problem because we require winter heating, space heating during when the coal was used, charcoal was used at that time. So we said, okay, replace this. We can heat the buildings with solar also. Everybody laughed because they thought solar is not available in winter. Although it was though scientifically we have proved that okay the solar radiation is there, enough sunshine hour is there, so whatever is, we can meet through solar will meet, and whatever requires supplement, at least that will reduce the need for other fuels. We may not be in extreme winters or we may not be able to finish using kerosene or diesel or like coal also, but at least that will be reduced considerably. So that type of approach should be there. It should be practical also. I think. So policy, so you have to think about that too. what you require for that place. So building is one sector. You design your own buildings, new buildings with which are based upon the this type of data or requirements also, whether you require cooling type of thing or cooling. Can you replace ACs? Can you replace or supplement the needs with some simple techniques? So simple 2-3 simple policies are like this: no plastic waste in the campus, no other retrofitting of existing buildings with comfortable system, a cooling system on which some research student can work on also this. And there is an international national data available also. So we can help in that also. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the organizing committee of SMART 2025, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for your valuable time, insightful sessions, and enriching contributions throughout this program, sir. So your expertise has not only broadened our understanding for renewable energy, sustainable driven technologies, but also we are inspired for new research directions and academic collaborations. We truly appreciate the efforts you have taken to share your vast experience, your vast knowledge with us. Your presence has made this FDP a memorable and impactful learning journey. Thank you once again, sir, for your gracious support, your gracious presence. We look forward for the future collaborations with you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for inviting me for the talk, Dr. Madhumita, and head of the department and the other participants also for this. It was a very good interaction. Some of the participants asked quite interesting questions, and I hope that I'll be successful only if you continue with this effort, and I'll be open for any kind of further inputs if somebody is required. I have shared with the email or this thing also, LinkedIn or Orchid or this thing, Google Scholar. You can search on that and contact me directly also. So I'll be happy if your institute is able to do some kind of a further setup in this direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
So we are closing for this day 1 session. Tomorrow we will meet up at 3 p.m. for the day 2 session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone present over here.